Have you ever looked around and wondered, how did I become the only one holding this together? You're working a job, you come home to a family, a husband possibly, day in and day out. You're also taking care of a loved one. And you're going, it's all me. How am I going to do all of this? I'm exhausted. You didn't apply for this role, but love called and you answered. Today, we're not talking about professional caregiving. We're talking about the caregiving that comes from a loved one, a family member. Those that are still working, maybe on the verge of retiring, and they have a loved one that needs to be taken care of. That's who we're going to be talking about. We might be talking about you. Maybe you're taking care of a loved one and you're just overwhelmed. So stick around, because today we're going to be talking about taking care of your loved ones, how to manage it, but also how not to lose yourself.
Life doesn't always go as planned, does it? Maybe you're facing a job loss, navigating a divorce, caring for a loved one, or grieving the loss of someone close to you. These moments can feel overwhelming, leaving you wondering, what now? Welcome to Thriving Through Transitions. In this broadcast series, you'll find hope, guidance, and practical advice to help you move forward one step at a time. Each week, Vicki Jern, a compassionate financial advocate, brings you thoughtful insights and actionable strategies to tackle life's challenges head on. From managing financial hurdles to finding balance and building resilience, she's here to help you survive and thrive. So, whether you're amidst a major change or preparing for what's ahead, join us each week to learn from someone who understands and who truly cares. Don't forget to subscribe and follow so you're always ready for whatever life brings your way. Be financially prepared for today and the uncertainties of tomorrow.
Welcome to Thriving Through Transitions. I'm Vicki Jern, your financial advocate, and I'm so happy you joined me today. This is a new series about those of us that have taken care or are taking care of a loved one and how to move forward and still maintain yourself. This series is called Caregiving and Finances. Don't lose yourself while caring for someone you love. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that so many people don't talk about and they carry quietly. Balancing the burden, work, caregiving, and no backup. Let's name what's often unspoken. You're trying to work, maintain the family, drive to work possibly, keep schedules for everybody, and that includes your loved one. Taking them to the doctor, possibly you to the doctor, the kids to the doctor. You're doing a lot. And then you come home or you stop by where they live and you're making sure that they're getting their food and everything's okay. By the end of the day, there's no more left of you. You fully can't be honest about how exhausted you are because you don't have time or you don't feel like you should talk about it. You may have family close by or in another state and they don't offer to help. They think, oh, she lives close by or he lives close by, they'll take care of it. But you're honestly hoping and wishing that they would come and relieve you some. That adds to the emotional weight also. What you're doing is out of love, and that's admirable. But it doesn't mean you can't be tired and that you can't ask for help and relief to give yourself time to rejuvenate and to get more energy. The truth is, you can feel grateful for taking care of and helping the one you love, and at the same time be exhausted with the responsibility. They can go hand in hand, and that's not unusual. If this episode speaks to you, please subscribe below, but also let a friend know that's going through this, because there's so many people out there right now going through this type of responsibility and will be in the future. So share this episode and other episodes because it's very important that they understand what to expect. A friend of mine recently shared something with me that stopped me in my tracks. She's a professional and she's managing her own time and her family's time, but not only their time, but her family, her loved ones' time. And she's got 2 calendars basically, trying to juggle it all. And she realized that she had overbooked a day where she had an appointment with an eye doctor and her mother had an appointment with a cardiologist. Needless to say, my friend canceled hers, but this was the 3rd time she canceled that appointment for herself so that her mother could go. What she realized is that she shouldn't have canceled hers, because you've got to take care of yourself. We tell people to look in the mirror, and who do you see? Yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of others. And this is something that's common among a lot of people, including myself. That example is just one example of many times I hear this from our friends, our clients, about putting themselves second or third and their family first. And then all of a sudden down the road, their illnesses start to appear. You got to take care of yourself first and take some time and ask for help. How can you sustain the help if you're wearing down slowly, but you never share that with anybody? They won't know. They'll think you're just doing fine. But down deep, you're not. If we keep giving from an empty cup, eventually there's nothing left. Think about a cup full of water, but the more you give, the more you take. If it gets down to the bottom, there's nothing to give. So think about that when you're scheduling appointments and taking care of yourself also. That's why the next part of this episode matters so much. Let's talk about caring for your loved ones without losing yourself. So how do you keep caring for someone you love without actually falling apart slowly? Let's talk about that. You can't multiply time. You can't duplicate yourself. I've wanted to do that several times. And a lot of the time, just asking for help seems harder than just doing it yourself. How many of you are guilty of that? I can raise my hand on that. And I bet I'm not the only one. So here's what you can do. You can shift how you manage the weight. You can put small systems in place that manages the time, the weight, and when you have to do stuff. Instead of trying to, when they call or need it now, jumping, put the systems in place. An example is when my mother, who lives with us, needs medicine, and Kroger's is called. I'll ask, do you need it now, or can it wait for a few days? Put systems in place and manage when you go, that maybe you get groceries at the same time. You do stuff that you can cover for both you and the loved one. So let me share with you 5 manageable strategies that help make caregiving sustainable and also allows you to maintain your energy. Number 1, make the invisible visible. What does that mean? Get your calendar out, or either on your computer, and block out times when you do certain things. Now, I understand that sometimes things come up and you have to rush them to emergency, or something in your own personal life comes up. But if you can make things a lot more blocked out, that will help you regain your energy and not feel so burnt out. Also, if someone says, how can I help? Take them up on it. Maybe they could bring some food over. Or if you go to church, there's a group there that might have someone come in and sit with that loved one. Take advantage of it. That's a wonderful opportunity. That means you would have some extra time to yourself. Number 2, create a caregiver buffer fund. A lot of times caregivers take care of the expenses. Well, and sometimes that's needed, sometimes it's not, because the loved one has that covered. But you have something you've got to do pronto, and you just take it out of your own funds. Put $25 a week in a fund and then keep track of that, so that you will not necessarily be taking it out of your billfold, or else your loved one can put money into that. Number 3, this is a hard one, but set boundaries. And set those boundaries with confidence and no guilt. Setting boundaries don't mean that you don't care. It means you care long enough to last. An example, you might say, I'm available to 6 p.m. for calls if someone needs to call me for my loved one. After that, I'm not available. They might not like it, and it might be hard for you to do, but it gives you time to have your time at home with your family, or to do what? Exercise or something that you enjoy. You might let your loved ones know, I've been working and helping this time, but I can't commit to every Saturday. I need help. Please come down and help me, or else we all chip in and get someone to come in and help. Number 4, ask for support in specific ways. Don't assume they know that you need help. When you're in another state or don't live close, you know the old saying, out of sight, out of mind? It's true. Very true. So don't assume that they're going to offer to help or you're going to have some help. If you need to take a few days off, maybe you've got a grandchild or a friend or a loved one in another state and you want to go to their graduation or just be with them, then let your sibling or someone else know that I need this help during this time and give them plenty of time to prepare. Be specific. Also, if other children don't call very often, let them know in a nice way that Mom or Dad or Joe really misses you. So can you check in, please? And number 5, revisit your own needs without apology. You don't need to say, oh, I've got to take care of this. I'm so sorry. No, You're helping that loved one. You need to take care of yourself too. Each month, ask yourself, when was my last checkup? Unless you just recently had it. When was the last time I went to the eye doctor? Went to the dentist? Exercised? Or if you're dating, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or saw my grandchildren. Ask yourself that because that's important. Don't forget them. You're not just a caregiver, you're a human being. So make sure you take care of yourself first. And when I mentioned about, have I exercised lately? The stronger you are, the more you can help and be that caregiver that you need to be or want to be. Can I share something personal with you? Very close to my heart. My parents moved in with us in 2016 from another state. My father had dementia. And in 2019, he passed away prior to COVID, and we miss him dearly. When Mom and Dad moved in, we had a business. We still have that business. We have grown children. We have grandchildren. And then all of a sudden, we were taking care of our parents, my parents, and taking them to many doctor's appointments, and so much that was going on. It was really hard juggling, but we did it out of love. Dad passed away, like I mentioned, and we asked Mom if she would like to live in an independent place. And she said, no, I'd really like to continue living with you all. And we said, fine, great. But what we found over time is that it's hard, and I understand that. But one of the good things is that I can look back and know that those last 2 to 3 years before my father passed away, I got to share and see him. And if he'd been in another state, it would have been so much harder to do. So I had the joy of that. And my sibling didn't see as much of my father. Now, fast forward, my mother lives here. We still have the same responsibilities. She's doing pretty good, but we have all these doctor's appointments and stuff. And I keep telling myself and knowing that I am very blessed because I get to share the last several years with her that I wouldn't be able to do if she was in Missouri where she lived. So there are blessings, even though it's hard. So keep that in mind. Remember the blessings that you receive also. Is it overwhelming? Oh, yes. Is it a balancing act? Yes. Some days do you want to just sit down and cry? Sometimes. But you know what? If I didn't have such a great spouse to help me, and a lot of you might not have that help, but maybe you have families that can help. I'm just trying to tell myself to take time and recharge and just put yourself first sometimes. It's hard. I want to tell you something that even though this is all hard, what you're doing is so important. And you are important and you love them. And these are the times when you will never forget. And you are overwhelmed, but know that you're appreciated. Even if your loved one might not say that very often, you are appreciated. So many people don't understand what you're going through, but I do and others do. Caring for someone isn't just a responsibility, it's a relationship. And sometimes that relationship's wonderful. Sometimes it's strained, but ultimately it's a relationship that you didn't volunteer for, but you stepped up out of love, and that says a lot about you. A lot of times I have people come to me with questions about caregiving for someone, and I would love to share with you what I've found out or what I know. I've actually, a lot of these I've learned myself. Question number one, how long can I keep doing this until I break? Mind, body, or soul? Great question. If you don't take care of yourself, eventually something might break. So preparing for it and planning for it makes a big difference. You might take and prepare 1 hour a day or 1 hour a week for yourself. That doesn't sound like a lot, and if you can do more, that's wonderful. But it's just for you. Do whatever you want. Pedicure, manicure, men golf, hunt, whatever you want to do. But it's for you. And if you have children, let them know. It's for me. I need this time by myself. Or if you want to go with a friend somewhere, and see other people hear laughter. Whatever makes you feel good and rejuvenates you. Another thought, can you reduce financial strain if you're footing the bill by tracking those expenses? And yes, you can. Write it down every time you have an expense, either on the computer or your phone or on paper. And then if you have siblings or others that can share that cost, or if that loved one can afford that, keep track of it, and then at the end of the month, let those know how much they owe you, because you shouldn't be footing it, because what ultimately happens is it affects your long-term care planning for your retirement. You've heard me say this before, but another question is, can I ask my sibling to cover a weekend for me? Because I need to rejuvenate, I need a break, I need to go out of town for something. Yes, you can. And a lot of times I hear that works if you give them plenty of time, but sometimes it doesn't. I know that there's siblings that don't really, again, out of sight, out of mind, they don't show up, or they don't feel as responsible, or they feel like their work is more important than yours. See if your parents or a loved one has money that can pay for someone to come in to help you. That's great. Or maybe your siblings will help chip in so you can hire someone to come in. But I understand that's stressful, because trying to find someone you can trust is very, very important. But you might have friends or a network that knows someone that they trust that can come in and help you. That would be very great to ease your burden and also give you rest and peace of mind. Another question is, what happens to me when I put my own financial future on the side taking care of a loved one? And this is so important and so true. If you stopped working to take care of a loved one, therefore you're not putting money into a 401k or SEP or a Roth, and then time passes, you think it's going to be for a short amount of time, and then all of a sudden a year, 2 years passes. That's just money and that is taken and not used for your retirement. So keep in mind that you've got to take care of yourself and your future, so that while you're taking care of your parent, this is extremely important. So don't stop that if at all possible. And don't stop looking at your investments or planning for your future, because that loved one most likely won't be there for you down the road. That's just a thought. I also hear a lot of caregivers that we work with say, you know what, after my loved one passed, I took care of my loved one. And one of the things is they became the executor of the will and of the estate. And I've heard so many people come to me and say, you know what, I don't want to be a burden to my family. I want to make sure everything's in order. And so if you put your future on hold, it's just making it harder for your loved ones. And also it might be affecting whether you can retire on time. So make sure you're working with an advisor who helps you work through what you're going through now, but also looks at your situation too. It's very important to plan, not just for your loved one, but for yourself, so that you don't become a burden to someone in the future. We're doing something powerful and something that is so important a lot of people don't go through or don't step up to do. So pat yourself on the back. It is hard and it is very tiring. Caring for a loved one while juggling your life is no small feat, and it can be very tiring. So if you're unsure how caregiving will affect your financial future, or you want to start planning for your financial future and you're going, I don't know how I'm going to figure out how I can come up with the time. But please take that time. It's very important. Then call me at 832-698-2010 or go online or go to their website at www.beefinancialpartners.net. And I definitely would love for you to share with your friends if this has been helpful. But also there's so many people out there going through this that could use some words of kindness and also know how to move forward. Again, this is Vicki Jern. I want to remind you to be financially prepared for today and the uncertainties of tomorrow.